Hi there, my name is Graham Campbell. I'm a PS3 student from the University of Lethbridge, and I'd like to just take a moment to share with you what I learned when I started a new extracurricular activity at my school. This video will hopefully help out anyone who's keen to start a club but's not quite too sure where to start. As this video probably would have helped me when I started, I hope it can help you. So the very first thing that I did, and I would recommend, is I got involved with a whole bunch of extracurricular at the school that was already in place, like flag football and intramurals and sports club and volleyball and things like that. What this did is it gave me a sense of how extracurriculars work at this school, because I think every school is a little bit different in the way that they do permission forms or they do parent pickups or the timings that you can have, so this was a really good foothold into the whole scene at the school that I was at. So that's a really great place to start. The next place I went is I kind of surveyed all of the clubs at the school and took stock of what was out there, what was being offered for kids. And at Dr. Gibson there was a lot of sports clubs. There's football and cross-country running and yoga and intramurals and hockey and basketball and volleyball and all these things, and that was awesome. It's so much fun, and I really enjoyed coaching and supervising with all of those. But I also noticed that there wasn't a whole lot of clubs that weren't athletics based. So what I thought to do was make a new club that fills a niche that hasn't been already filled. So I took stock of my own interests and passions and skill sets and found, well, I love photography and I love nature and I love outdoor education, so I thought, how can I combine these two? And that was the genesis of the Nature Photography Club, which is exactly what I created. So basically I looked at all the other clubs in the school, I found out what wasn't being offered, and I found something that I could offer to fill that niche with my own passions and talents. So that was a really cool process. So after I had my idea, the Nature Photography Club, that's what I was gonna try for. I had to go and run that by the administration team, and the administration team of my school were extremely supportive. They really, really backed me on this. They said, go for it, all the support you need. They were talking about getting budget in there to pay for some of the printing of the pictures and things like that. So they were really, really supportive, but that's a very critical step, of course. You should probably, run it by all the rest of the administration to ensure that this is going to be allowed to happen. Once I had the green light from them, we had to set up a schedule. So then again, it was looking at all the other clubs, all the other things that happen in this school. When can I operate my club that won't conflict with other clubs? Now, there's hardly a time to do that in an elementary school. There's always something happening. But we chose the date that was least likely to have a conflict, and that was kind of where we left that. So we set a schedule, we got the okay from the administration, and then the next thing was getting the word out to students and teachers. It was pushing the club. It was on the announcements. I popped into lots of classes and I got them all excited. I had my cameras out with me and stuff like this. So getting the interest up was a really big part of it, and that really helped to get the club off the ground. I called an initial meeting early on, and I said, come down at lunchtime, and I had no idea how many kids would come, so I printed off 50 permission forms that I had to make. So I printed these off. I got 50 of them in my hand, and I'm watching the kids file into this room, and they're sitting on the chairs, and then they're sitting on the desks, and then they're standing at the back, and I'm like, holy smokes. We had 70 kids actually show up for the very first meeting, and that kind of caught me off guard. So the lesson I learned there, and maybe you could learn too, is that print more permission forms than you think you'll need, because who knows, you might just have a popular idea, So once we had all the permission forms out, I gave them a hard deadline, and I think this was important for the club because I really wanted this club to be something that kids felt like they belonged to. This wasn't like a wishy-washy, yeah, I go when I want to. This was like I am a part of this because I want to be part of it. You know, I want to be there. So I made the deadline for getting those forms back to me fast and you know, ruthless. Really, I said, you know, you bring that form to me tomorrow morning, signed, and that's the deadline. You know, there's obviously exceptions if a student has some chaotic event happen for them, but for the most part, I wanted kids in the photography club to feel like they were a part of this and they belonged there and they chose to be there. So this was a really good thing, and I actually had about 40 kids bring back the permission forms the next day, which was awesome and also a little scary, to be honest, because it was one of me and now 40 students. So, but yeah, I would say that creating a hard and fast deadline is kind of a good motivator to get kids to really, whoever wants to be there is going to be there. If they care enough, they're going to get that form in. And, you know, obviously the exceptions again, like I say, but this was a really good thing. So I think that this was something I would do again and really make the commitment part of the club be a big part of it. Because, I mean, yeah, if you belong to this club, then you're going to, you know, put your best foot forward and go ahead and get your permission slip in. So now I had 40 kids that I was going to be in charge of teaching some photography concepts to and some nature education to, and I was like, huh, there was an oversight somewhere here. Yep, I probably should have sent an email out to all the other teachers in my school and asked them if they wouldn't mind helping. But I didn't. So that was something that I learned, and that's a huge, huge, huge lesson learned. So I sent out an email saying, hey, is there any teachers out there that would like to come and help me out with photography club? And I actually got a couple of responses, and one teacher committed and has been a huge help to the club. It's awesome to have support of other teachers, and we work together, and it's just been great. So that's one thing to know for sure, is definitely ask for other teachers to help you out, because that helps a lot. So once we had all this stuff ready to go, it was time to plan. And planning was a huge part of this club, and it was definitely one of the keys to the success. I planned out all the weeks that we were going to operate as a club. So there was 6 weeks or 7 weeks that we were going to operate as a club, and we're still operating now, but you know, I had 7 weeks, and I picked a photography concept for every week. I picked a shooting location for every week, and I built the website that would house all their photographs when we took them. So planning these out really helped me out, because the night before you don't have to go, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? It's like, oh no, we're going to look at rules of thirds today. So planning out was really, really important for me. And setting up that website was another great thing. The kids are excited about the website. You know, their pictures go up there, and they get to show off to their parents or their guardians or their friends or whoever. So the planning was really important for me. The last thing, I guess, is like when the club is operating. Because of the nature of my club, we meet in the classroom, and then we go to a location, and then we kind of have a little go disperse, take some cool pictures kind of thing, and then come back. So what I found really effective there was to take attendance right off the bat, but then put down the number of how many kids. That's really simple, I know, but it's just something that I didn't think of until the third session. So I thought I'd share it with you now. But I just wrote down the number. So if I had, you know, however many kids there, I just write that down, and then I can use that number when we're out in the field and just count kids and not have to say, who are we missing? So that was another good thing to know too. But yeah, the club has been super successful. It's ran really smoothly, and I've just been really happy with it, and fortunate to have been placed in such a wonderful school that has such supportive parents and administration, and such a wonderful town to be in. Okotoks has embraced our photography club, letting us come to the fire hall and take pictures, and letting us put our art up in the Art in the Hallway gallery at the rec center. So everything has just been really great, and I hope that these little tips can help you move forwards in starting your own club sometime soon. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you out there.